It's episode 1268, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Welcome to our video era. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Look at that. You saw him say it, everybody. From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Minor.
What up, though?
And just down the street there in Nashville, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so we have an announcement, everybody. If you're listening to the show this week, episode 1268, not only are we coming out on Tuesdays, we are now launching video of every episode. But that's not the only thing. That's not the only change that's happening. And I don't know if all you guys know this. So we're now video every Tuesday on YouTube and audio on our normal platforms. But the show is going to change a little bit. With the new video era, we're not going to have guests joining us. There's no headline guest anymore.
Who needs them?
Jesus is our guest.
That's right. He's always with us. But where are we going to do the interviews? Where are we going to do the guests? There's part 2 of our new announcement. We are relaunching our long-form interview series called Unedited, which I used to host back in 2018, 2019, 2020. We're bringing it back. So every Thursday, there will be a new weekly long-form interview for Unedited. And we're going to also supplement the Relevant Podcast with other interview series. We're launching this fall an Impact series where we're going to do a 6-week weekly episode. I'm sorry, twice a month for 3 months. We're going to do an Impact series where we're going to be interviewing business leaders, faith leaders, financial leaders about ways that we can create more impact with our lives. So we're going to do interviews and stuff. We're still going to have amazing guests and amazing content, but just the Relevant Podcast for the new video era is just going to be us farting around with you guys for 45 minutes every week. So there you go.
Well, I don't like being very flatulent, but we'll do something different than fart around. Maybe hang around,
Because
chill around.
Because Derek, mind you, this is also unedited in the new format. And so whatever happens, even if it's slightly off mic, people will probably hear it.
So even if your wife walks in mid-podcast and walks back out, it's awesome. It's great.
What was that clip that was going around where like the lady was like, she was doing like her weekly Bible study and she was like prophesying and stuff, and her husband walked by with like a big plate of food and his underwear, and she was like, I'm live streaming. That's going to be this podcast from now on.
This podcast.
But that is true. You guys are talking about a production change, and this is true. We've been podcasting for 20 years, and what you don't realize is we're just joking around and it's loose and all this kind of stuff. But what you don't realize is that we spend 6 hours or more every week in post-production editing the flow, the humor, the pace, and all that kind of stuff. And with this new video format, we will not be doing that. So show's going to change is all I'm saying.
Not
and
only
I
that,
have to put some pants on now because, before I used to just come up and show up in my drawers, but now I can't
tank
do
tops. Just making us all stumble.
I gotta wear clothes, but I'm wearing Derek Minor merch now, so
nice.
It's good.
That's all you're going to wear for this whole video podcast.
Period.
I
am going to treat this like a swap meet. That's what we're going to do. It's the Derek Minor swap meet. My part will be a swap meet. That's what it'll be.
Well, not only do we spend 6 hours editing, we also spend about 6 hours recording, and the final product is the 45 barely usable minutes most weeks. The additional over 5.5 hours, I'm pretty nervous will ever leak out to the internet. But anyway, go ahead, Cameron. We're going to try to rein that in.
So you're probably wondering, listener, then what is the show? What are we doing here every week? Okay, so it'll stay familiar. We're going to open up, catch up. The second segment, we're bringing back slices. So we're not doing Relevant Buzz anymore. There might be some Buzz content in the mix, but the cast will be bringing slices each week, which is just, what's happening this week, weird news that caught our eye, whatever we want to talk about. That's slices. And then at the end of the show, we'll have a different segment each time. We've been doing One Has to Go all summer long. I enjoy, especially the last month of One Has to Go. I've really enjoyed where it's been like wordplay of like ice or, like a list on kind of non sequitur stuff. So we'll bring in One Has to Go every once in a while. But this episode, we're doing an Ask the Cast. You guys sent in a lot of questions. We figured we're now on YouTube. Maybe there's some new eyeballs on us. So we'll do an Ask the Cast. You can get to know us a little bit. Some of the questions you sent in were sincere. Some of them were absolutely ridiculous. We're going to tackle them all. So that's coming up. But we'll do games and other things at the end of the show. So that's the flow now. We're going to just catch up with you guys. We'll do slices each week, and we'll do something fun at the end of every episode. So there you go. No guest.
I feel like we did end the guest at least on a good one. The last guest we had was Matthew McConaughey. So like, I feel good.
We ended on a high note. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I feel good wrapping up our guest era with Matthew McConaughey. I don't know about y'all, but that feels good to me.
Feels good.
All right. All right. Yep. Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know how we're going to do breaks and all that kind of stuff with YouTube ads, but here you go. After this break, it'll be slices.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
Tell us what you have, Jesse.
All right. I've been following this story pretty closely, as has most of the nation. It is a story about a local community who is being terrorized right now by what can only be described as a malicious attack squirrel. This is the opening line from this ABC National News story. By the way, there's a couple things I just want to note about this story and the way that it's presented journalistically. The opening line is, "A California squirrel has gone nuts."
Give him the Pulitzer. That was great.
That's
I really
the
feel like-
hard-hitting journalism we need in today's time right now.
Yeah.
Considering at least one person has been hospitalized, they're really making light of this thing.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to Google this for themselves on their own time so that they can see the image that accompanies the story. In case you're wondering,
we can throw it up on the screen now.
yeah, and in
Look at
case
that.
you're wondering the exact headline, if they do want to just look at it for themselves and screenshot it to have in their phone, is "Almost Killed Me, squirrel attacking residents in California town, sending at least 2 to the hospital." Because the images accompanying it is a flyer that is on a telephone pole that is throughout the town of San Rafael, California. And the attacks, it shows an image of what can only be described as a squirrel. Imagine a flying squirrel, but it wasn't a flying squirrel. It was a regular one, but it had longer fingernails and was just the most ripped squirrel you've ever seen.
So the squirrel has muscles?
Can I screen share? Will that mess up the
No,
We need to
right.
show our audience
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. I
Good.
need to see what you're talking about.
I'm
because
trying to see
Easy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger squirrel.
There he is, right there.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
I just want to let this sink in for a second here. Okay,
This is not a joke. It's the first line.
Yeah,
of
I was
the
going to
slide.
say, if I do want to note, the first line is "This is not a joke," and it should be noted this is all caps right now.
and highlighted.
Yeah, and highlighted. Which if it was underlined as well, I'd be very nervous. This squirrel has been pouncing on random people, just attacking them seemingly at random, and it's not just like, oh, it's crawling up you. It is scratching. It is biting. Now, local authorities believe it's because someone has been feeding the squirrel human food, and that has just changed it into this attack machine, because evidently you shouldn't do that, because then they develop an appetite for human food and they associate humans with it and they just attack it pretty wildly.
All right.
I do want to note the last line of this article, though, because the story on a standalone basis is interesting enough. But the last line of this story really had me question a lot of things in my life. So the story ends after it talks about, this squirrel raging through this California town with this line. There have been no reported cases of rabies transmissions from squirrels to humans in the United States, as they do not spread rabies, according to LA County Department of Public Health. Excuse me? I feel like one of the great concerns of my childhood, like there's that John Mulaney joke about like when he grew up, he thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem because you're always it's like a plot device in like Looney Tunes. One of the things I feel like I was drilled into, like look both ways when you cross the street, just that's safety. You should probably bring your Halloween candy to an MRI machine to make sure that
there's no needles, drug needles in there. Yep.
Because apparently that was happening. That was the other one.
Razors were like in the apples and stuff.
Yeah. And first off, who's giving away apples on Halloween? Has anyone ever received fresh fruit for
not once?
Door-to-door fresh fruit. I feel like
in this economy, no way.
And there was no way I was going to eat an apple when there was a good Snickers right here. Like I wasn't doing that.
I did have a neighbor that gave out little travel toothbrushes and toothpaste, though. That was terrible. We didn't like
interesting.
Yeah, that house is getting vandalized. But I was led to believe that squirrels spreading rabies was a major problem. That this was probably one. The way I grew up, it would seem like almost a likelihood that at some point you're going to be bit by a squirrel and are probably going to get rabies. That it was like you can't feed them, that's for sure, because if they nick you, you're getting rabies.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I see a squirrel out in the wild, I can't help. You know how they get in that mode where they get into fight and flight mode all at the same time and just go back and forth, and then they run off. I feel like that in that moment, everyone's saying the same thing. Man, I hope that thing doesn't attack me because I'll probably get rabies.
Right.
It turns out that basically never happens. So I looked on Google AI and ChatGPT. I don't know why I'm like dyslexic with that. GPT. And both of them reiterate that this is extremely unlikely and almost never happens. Like there was no reported cases in the United States. So here's the moral of the story, guys. We got this one rogue squirrel out in California. But the whole reason I haven't ever fed a squirrel right out of my bare hands is with the concern about rabies. Turns out that's not a concern. There's nothing bad that's going to happen. I think what has happened is this anti-squirrel pro-rabies propaganda has poisoned our relationship with these domestic animals. We can basically be living in an environment where we've domesticated squirrels here.
Right.
But we've been so indoctrinated by the fear of rabies. They should be eaten out of our hands every day. But we should be walking down the streets just handing them food, and we should have a pretty good, they could be like dogs. They seem pretty smart. Are you guys not shocked by the fact that
I don't want a domesticated squirrel. I mean, there's just certain things that we can have. I don't particularly want one. And I would just say there's only way that there's a wild squirrel in America is that it's in a blue state like California. Because if it was in a red state like Tennessee, that squirrel would be somebody's dinner.
Not only would it
we would have had this wrapped up pretty quickly.
This would have been wrapped up probably in an hour or so.
I don't know.
Hey, get that squirrel! Like
Derek, I don't know which side of the political spectrum is going to be more offended by your statement. One, that blue state residents are too soft to take care of a squirrel. Two, that red states know how to take care of their squirrel problems, but they also eat them. Like both of them seem.
I'm talking from experience. Like literally, my church growing up, we used to have a wild game dinner. And it would be venison, you'd have squirrel, there'd be and it was the most terrifying thing on the planet because you would just walk through and there's just like this, it's just, yeah. But, we did it. We did it. I used to eat chitlins growing up too. So just, hey, I'm sorry, guys.
I just don't know how much meat you're getting off that squirrel.
Deep South, brother.
See, I think I have a different perspective of squirrels. I am assuming you guys don't know this about me. At my previous job, one of the random tasks I did was run a social media account for a squirrel that lived on our college campus.
unpack that, please.
Yeah. What was his name?
What? I mean, why did he need? I guess he didn't need.
We
one.
just needed social media content, honestly. His name was Twiggy. He lived kind of right outside our office building, and me and another coworker, we would go out and feed him. She brought out like a little a little swing feeder that we could put food on, and he would sit on it, and we would take pictures, and it was really cute. So that account is still going. I'm not still running it, obviously. But yeah, so I have like multiple videos and photos of me going up to the squirrel with food in my hand, feeding it. And it's so cute and soft and like cuddly and it's sweet. So
And then he tried to rip your eyes out.
No, that's the thing. Like it never once crossed my mind that I should not do this because of rabies. And I'm realizing I think I have pretty terrible survival skills because the fact that, I mean, obviously it worked out because they don't have rabies anyways, but it just didn't even cross my mind that maybe I shouldn't approach a rabid animal.
Speaking
You
of
don't know it's
squirrels,
rabid?
Or sorry,
If it doesn't have rabies,
that's my whole point. Is that there is no risk. Like this is it's a myth. You missed out on a great relationship with the squirrel because of this lie that they're causing rabies. We haven't had one report of it. It reminded me of that story. Remember that squirrel named Peanut? It was P-Nut that this guy in New York.
I don't remember that.
You don't keep up with squirrel stories online?
This is a big national news story. This guy in New York, he had a rescue squirrel. I can't remember exactly what he rescued the squirrel from, but he had a rescue squirrel, and he gave it a social media account.
It from my stepdad, Uncle Ray.
Yeah, he rescued it from some southerner that wanted to eat him.
Yeah,
he had this rescue squirrel, was making a social media account, much like you, Emily. But this squirrel was in his possession. Like federal authority, like Department of Environmental Conservation took the squirrel, and they ended up putting the squirrel down because the only way they could find out if the squirrel had rabies is if you kill a squirrel. So it's sort of a catch-20.
Can't you look for the foaming in the mouth? Isn't that part of the thing?
That's the thing. This like never happens. This was a national story, and they said like the reason they did it is because concerns when they saw the social media content, they thought this squirrel could have rabies. This is a myth, guys. There are zero reports of rabies from squirrels in the United States. This is blowing my mind. I felt like this is a big national problem. 4 people every year die from a rabies attack.
You only know that because of The Office, because of Meredith getting bit by a bat.
Wait, also, was it 3 or 4?
It was 4.
It was 4. Okay.
No, 4 got killed by a baler every year. I don't know about rabies.
It was a significantly low number.
What's a baler?
When The Office, they went down to the warehouse to do the safety training, and Michael wanted to show the baler. It's where they smush boxes.
Got it.
Is anyone else? I mean, like I said, I feel like a lot of my life was a lie. Like this was just a falsehood, fake news, rabies, not real.
Look, man, wow, I identify like
There you go.
and I just want to send out my thoughts and prayers to you because I know that you're dealing with trauma from the squirrel.
I altered huge parts of my life out of this concern, and now
to avoid squirrels,
to avoid them, and to not actively engage with them. There's been plenty of time to be like, man, if I had some peanuts right now, I had that little guy right in the palm of my hand, literally.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, what do you have, Derek?
Well, this is not dystopian at all news. There's a company right now that if you're a store owner and someone steals something from your store, you can have drones that will actually chase the person down and follow their car to their final destination and send the video feed back to you or to the police. So that's not dystopian at all. Like, I don't see the problem, but I just want to pose to you guys. What do you think?
So who is deploying said drone? Is this like
the
a
name
private
of the
security
company? Yeah, hold on. It's a private security company called Flock, which is even more terrifying.
This sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
This sounds like a Black Mirror episode where Flock, like a flock of drones.
So these patrol like retail stores, and should someone shoplift, this will follow them home so that the merchandise can be recovered.
So I'm going to read it just so you know. They said that the company says it's no different than if a shoplifter steal something and you call 911, what you do is you just activate the drone. And this is a quote. I'm going to quote this. The drone follows the people. The people get in the car. You click a button, he says, and you track the vehicle with a drone, and the drone just follows the car. That's what happens.
They can do that with GoPros now. I mean, like they have a drone following the snowboarder down the hill kind of thing,
I'm just going to say, go ahead, Jesse, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, well, I was just, my feeling is the only way I like this is if you evade the drone, you ended up getting to keep it. Whatever you stole, you get to keep. If you don't, you are prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But if you get away, you get to keep it. I think that would kind of make this fun.
Can't you just like run into a building or something? The drone can't follow you behind a closed door.
I don't think we should be giving...
Cameron, you're a master criminal.
We should not be giving tips on how to outsmart as you shoplift.
Just literally go 3 stores down in the shopping center and go in the door.
Yeah,
but
then it's just waiting by your car. Then it's like, well,
no, you go out the back door, walk around. It's just lost you. You don't know
exactly. You know what? You made this a game. It's kind of fun. It's evade the. If you get to keep whatever it is.
Evade.
You get to keep it.
It's easy. Yeah.
I don't know. This feels very Minority Report-ish to me. I don't know about you guys, but it feels very Minority Report-ish. But I said something to a friend not too long ago. I was like, do y'all realize that we are living in the future? Like most of the stuff, I'd say 75% of the stuff, besides the walking metal skeletons with guns and red eyes, have come to fruition. I mean, you have cell phones, we have video conferencing, we have AI assistants. They're working on robots that can clean your house like the Jetsons. I mean, we're literally 10 years from all of the things that we used to watch as kids being like, wow, that would never happen, actually happening. So
they're literally building right now in Orlando a flying taxi port, like airport for flying taxis and stuff. So like the Jetsons, where you just get in like an Uber and it's like, it's not a helicopter. It's like a flying taxi.
It needs to make that noise too, like, like the noise of the Jetsons. It needs to make that noise.
Little circles coming out of the back of it.
Yeah, the little circles, shoot little bubbles out.
I missed that part about, like, I feel like this was very early 2000s, but when technology was fun, now it's just, I don't know, it's so boring looking. Like, I know y'all like Teslas, but like the Cybertrucks are just ugly. Like, if we're going to be innovative and have tech, like, let's have fun.
Clarify. Because we like electric cars and Teslas, we do not like Cybertrucks.
Yeah, the Cybertruck looks like a...
I knew someone on this podcast liked Cybertrucks.
It looks like a butter knife. It looks like a butter knife that they folded and put in this.
I remember like the MacBooks for that were like orange and colorful. Like I just miss having fun with tech. And now it's like...
You can still buy those.
Well, they don't really work that well. I want something that works well and is cute. Is that so hard to ask?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm cynical, right? But I feel like the promise of this stuff is always, whether it's a drone that's going to catch shoplifters or your helicopter, heliport, flying car, airport. I'll believe it when I see it. It's like those, like, oh, Derek, you're saying robots to clean your houses and all that. Actually, we have those. I don't know anyone that's got a robot cleaning their house other than like the little vacuum cleaner. And it's like whenever I see one of those like DARPA videos, it's like, oh my gosh, they can jump on 2-foot-high boxes now. What are we going to do? It's like they can do something most children can do now. I don't know.
Well, Jesse, I do remember that you said I'll be impressed with AI when AI can tell a good joke. And AI has got some funny jokes.
It's getting there, man.
It's getting there, bro.
You can stick your head in the sand. You're a get off my lawn guy. You're turning into that dude.
Not.
It's like,
I'm not to get off my lawn. I'm just saying some of this stuff in execution is not what in like ideation is not what it is in execution. Like some technology is very cool and great, but I do feel like in the modern era of it's like when Mark Zuckerberg was showing off his new AI Ray-Bans. I'm sure you guys saw the clip that was going around. The idea is like, yeah, man, I'm gonna connect with this other chef over at headquarters, and we're gonna make a guacamole together or whatever. Do you guys see the clip of them? yeah, the idea is great. And technically this can all function, but it just didn't work right when you needed it to. And I'm just saying a lot of tech is like that. Like the idea is good, but the execution somehow still finds a way to disappoint, especially when the promise is so big.
But the evolution is happening faster and faster. Those glasses will be great in a year or two. The flying taxis will be open and happening in a year. And the cleaning robots will be ready within 2-3 years, like and available for $25,000. We know that. So it's like happening. It maybe hasn't happened. It's happening.
I don't want to be the test audience for the flying taxi. I'm definitely just like I'm gonna be absolutely fine with waiting for y'all to figure that one out thoroughly.
The reason why they're doing it here is because Orlando's 30 miles from the space coast. And so there's a lot of companies that are HQ'd here, but they need to get out to the coast a lot. And it's like a 45-minute, hour-long drive. So they're just going to take these flying taxis to pop back and forth. That's why they're doing it here.
Okay, I thought it was because Floridians would be the only ones crazy enough to jump on a floating taxi.
Space people are the only ones crazy enough to do it.
Hey, Cameron, I want to clarify. I welcome. I think all these technological breakthroughs are going to do great things potentially for humanity. My whole point is this: is like a lot of stuff feels like it's not getting out of beta right now. Like we got these like broke down versions of stuff. That's like, yeah, when I saw the commercial or heard the promise, it was great, but it's actually causing me more frustration to try to figure out, all the functionality and how to get it to work right.
Well, to your point, the Elon announced in 2015, full self-driving cars, self-driving taxis will be here in 2 years.
Right.
And it's like 2025. And we have supervised full self-driving, and he's trying to roll out the taxi stuff. Not quite there yet. We're still, so it'll be like 10 years. He said it would take 2 years. It'll be 10 years.
But
so
Elon, I'm going to keep it real. Elon be lying more than rappers, though. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, Elon is a liar.
I don't know. I have empathy for the fact that he announces stuff too early, because over our 25 years of doing media, I would be like, hey, we're working on this thing. I'll be like, it'll be out next month, and I'll announce it, and it doesn't come out for 6 months. And so, like, I have empathy for the fact that his timelines are wrong. He's just overambitious.
He ain't overambitious.
It's not just him.
It's
not just him. It is not just him. That's all these tech leaders. They all do it, right? And that's the problem, is I've become desensitized to it. It's like,
there you go.
Like I said, if we're talking sunglasses to help you make guacamole here, that's a low bar, man. And you had time to rehearse, and you're one of the richest people in the world, and that's not going to work? Come on. Like, I'm just saying, we've all been disappointed, and I'm not opposed to the technology. I'm just saying, let's roll it out when you kick the tires with this thing a little.
You said it's a little half-baked when this stuff comes out. It comes out half-baked.
But think of all the shoplifters we can catch with the drones. That's,
Think about all the shoplifters who don't have the foresight to just walk into a building.
I'm going to tell you right now. I got some shoplifting, scamming friends and family, and I'm going to tell you, if there's a way to scam, they're going to find a way to scam.
You don't think that the shoplifter is going to come ready with a slingshot to shoot
they're going to figure something out, bro.
See, I have a question. Like, if a retail store only has one, what if two people shoplift at the same time and they go in separate cars?
It's the mob thing. You all run in different directions. It can only get one of you.
Like this.
Yeah, it can only get one of you. Anyway,
again, it's a great idea. Execution. Go ahead, sir.
Emily, before we get to your slice, we're going to take a quick break. Here it is. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human, and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose The Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. All right, for the final slice, Emily, what do you have?
Okay, do you guys know that viral video series Subway Takes? That guy who's like on the New York subway,
Yeah,
who
they
like
hold the
asks
little
people
mics.
Yeah.
for their hot takes. Okay, well, they're all. I
Sorry,
see them.
real quick. Can we get these social media people some bigger mics? It's ridiculous. I watch a
They're
lot of
holding with
influencers, and they got that
like-
little tiny furry
They have like
mic.
tweezers to hold on to it, yeah.
Like what? I get it that you're just undoing a lapel and we're kind of going back. Can we just get a bigger mic here, or at least get it like on a long stick, like Bob Barker? If you're going to use a little ping pong by saw, can we at least get you the stick so you're not reaching over? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Emily.
I mean, you bring up a good point. That's a good take for whenever you go on Subway Takes. You can bring that up. No, the point of this video series is someone joins the host to give some sort of hot take. Anyways, there was one this week that was posted that was from a comedian, Jordan Jensen, and she, to be clear, is not a Christian, but she had a hot take about religious people, and it has been on our minds all week. I want y'all to hear it, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, and just to give context, it's everyday New Yorkers, it's famous people, and the hot take is usually very inconsequential. It's about dating, it's about life in the city,
Yeah,
it's about
yeah.
whatever. So her hot take being about people of faith was caught our eye. So here we go.
So what's your take?
I don't think people are actually religious.
100% disagree.
I don't think
they're
you're
very
religious.
I'm not.
I think the people that are religious are the fundamentals that are blowing it up and banging down doors. Those people actually believe it. But the pseudo, I believe in God, but I let people live their lives. Shit. Bullshit. I quit eating sugar. I've told every single one of my friends about it to try and help them get off sugar. If I thought they were going to burn in hell, I would be shaking them awake in the middle of the night and being like, accept Jesus into your life, please.
Okay, so you're not saying no one's being extreme enough.
Because they don't believe it. They don't buy it.
You think the Pope is not, because he's not willing to like kill for it.
Yeah. I mean, not kill for it, but there'd be people running in the streets being like, please, if your parents were really religious, they'd be begging you.
There's no urgency.
There's no urgency. If I thought that if you died, you would go to hell forever in a horrible place with Satan or whatever, I would be like, that'd be the first thing I said to you. I'd be like, how's it going? Are you religious yet?
I mean, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? People talk about keto. People talk about so many things all the time. If you thought that there was a God and there was a heaven and hell, people would not shut the up about it.
Right. They would really be trying to convert you into a pious
all the
person.
Time. My aunt, she is religious.
What has she done?
She texts me every day. Please.
Please.
I'm just going to say she ain't never been to the South. I'm like, bruh, like all the stuff she's saying, I'm like, I got so many annoying family members that just like, you can't do anything without them bringing up Jesus. It's like, we're playing basketball. It's like, man, well, Jesus wouldn't cross that person over in that way. Like, I mean, I don't know, man.
But are they saying that around like fellow religious people, or are they saying that to people who like have left the faith in any way?
I mean, I was in New York this week promoting the album, wink, wink, and I saw guys walking around with a megaphone talking about repent because God is at that hand. And then at the same time, we do live in a country where, you know, you can't force people into your religion. So you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, I'm sick of annoying Christians that always try to force their religion on people, but then say they don't believe it because they're not trying to force their religion on people. Like, I don't know. This is very,
I think you're thinking of, my take was a little different. She's talking about the fact that the majority of people who say they're believers don't share their faith. She's not talking about the zealot on the corner, the 1 out of a million that you're talking about that you experience. She's talking about the majority of normal Christians. So she goes on from there, and we have the whole clip at our website if you want to watch the whole thing. And she talks about the fact that, like, she thinks that most people who say they're Christians, but I'm cool with however you want to live your life, that's not true belief. She's like, if you truly believed what you say you believe, you would not let that person just not be a believer. You would do anything in your power to save them from eternal damnation. And if you're not, then I question if you actually believe what you say you believe. But that's what her point was.
But my pushback on that would be that, one, none of us save anybody. It's God who saves people, right? So, like, my whole perspective is, I'm not saying don't share your faith, but, like, no one wants the pushy guy that is in the Bible also says he that wins souls is wise. And it also talks about, or I think just for me, I'm not the type of person, and this is from a person that shares his faith in his music all the time, but I just don't think that it's rational to think that someone's just going to run around all day yelling at people to try to change their ways 100% of the time, because people are humans. You wait for opportunities for those conversations to come up. Sometimes it's just not a good conversation to have while you're at Denny's. I think this, to me, I took that as her trying to say y'all are fake because you're not you're not a jihadist. Like, you don't really believe it because you're not an extreme.
She's saying, if I believed what you say you believe, I would not let you not know that I'm a believer and that you should know what I know. That's all she's saying.
But there's whole industries built around people sharing their faith, like with merchandise, wearing clothing. There's Christian music industry. There's a church on every corner.
She's saying the majority of people that she's encountered who say they're Christians, but don't ever talk about it and don't ever share it with anybody. She said, my friends who are keto, my friends, I got off sugar, I told all my friends about it. She's like, the people that I've met that say they're Christians and they never talk about it, I wonder if they truly believe what they say they believe. That's all she's trying to say.
What if
she's not saying the Christian music industry doesn't exist. Jesse,
what if they're introverts? Go ahead, Jesse.
I think. Oh, first off, I heard Penn Jillette, the magician who's an atheist, his quote was basically along the same, he phrased it, how much do you have to hate someone not to proselytize? How much do you have to hate somebody to believe that everlasting life is possible and not tell them about it? If I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that a truck was coming at you and you didn't believe it, and that truck was bearing down at you, there's a certain point where I would just tackle you. Into the life. But to Derek's point too, I think part of the conversation has to, and this is where I feel like people who've been around faith longer, methodology matters. And just at some point, there's a recognition that just like telling people is only going to go so far. And that, it's like the Billy Graham quote about evangelism. It's God's job to judge. It's the Holy Spirit's job to convict. It's my job to love. Like, at some point, there is a method that is more effective than just words when it comes to, introducing faith to people.
Right. Well, because even like you said, Derek, like, there are people standing on the street screaming, repent, and stuff. Truthfully, you can ask them, they might have 2 productive conversations in the whole day that they've been doing that, versus someone who, like you said, Jesse, has a different methodology. Like they do maybe a longer game there. But it is, I think what struck me about this clip was just reminding us there is an urgency. I have friends in my life who are not believers, and it's like, oh, when was the last time I brought up anything about my faith with them? And it is just a reminder of I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to just hope for a conversation to come up in a natural way. Like I might have to sort of orchestrate a few conversations to get us there. Now, I don't necessarily think I need to be having every single conversation we have about them to be about faith, but I think that I can be more intentional. Because even when I was, we wrote about this on our site and I was looking up different statistics, 80% of non-Christians said that if they were invited to church by someone, they would go.
80%. That's crazy.
And then there was another study.
I've never invited one of my neighbors to church. I mean, literally.
I don't know if I'd put that on a podcast, but.
No, I haven't. I don't know my neighbors, but I'm saying like, you know, that's her point of like, if I live out, do I interact with people truly? Do they know what I believe? Do I invite them to learn more about
Let's take the keto example, right? The keto example, usually when you're talking about, hey, I went keto or whatever, first of all, I'll put it this way. You're equating, she's saying I just cut out sugar, right? And I'm telling everybody about sugar. Now, she's keto for a decade plus. She's not going to be telling everybody about sugar the same way she was when she first started talking about keto, right? When she first did it. So every Christian I know that has first get saved tells everybody they know.
They launch
and over time, you settle into a rhythm of waiting for conversations that would make sense, right? So keto user in year 10 is waiting for somebody that's saying, man, I'm having these crazy stomach problems. You should try going keto. When I went keto 10 years ago, it changed my life, right? So what she's saying is because you're not acting like a brand new zealous Christian for 20 years straight, that you don't believe what you say you believe. And that's factually not even human nature, and it's unrealistic. Well, that's the reason why you don't act like that in year 10.
But to your point, Derek, I like that the keto analogy too, not to overkill it, but because at some point it's like, wow, you look great. Something seems different about you. What's the secret? Like the soul version of that is that at some point people know where you stand on stuff, but the demonstration of the transformation is more powerful than just an initiated conversation. And but it's both and, right? Like you still want to look for opportunities and have that sense of urgency, but the demonstration of the transformation is what ultimately is going to be that's a factor.
I think personally, for me, a lifelong Christian, a professional Christian, the reality is because I share my faith publicly and we create content and we're trying to reach people and all that kind of stuff. When I saw that clip, it was an interesting reminder to me that obviously she's painting with a very wide brush, but it's like, if I truly believe this, not am I going to just do it 9 to 5, or am I really going to if I really believe that this person in my life, this person that I just met, this person, my neighbor, is actually going to be separated from God for eternity, wouldn't I want to share with them one-on-one? I agree with you, Jesse. I understand what you're saying, Derek, about 20 years in, you're not as excited about it.
That's not even the point I'm going, but I'm going to let you finish.
But to me, it was an interesting reminder of the excitement and my life was just transformed. I just met Jesus, and everybody who's a new believer does share it. And it's like, for those of us who've been around the block a few times, not that we're desensitized, not that we don't believe anymore, but it's just it was an interesting reminder that it's the world's watching. And if we aren't living out and sharing our faith, what is this all about then? Do we actually really believe it? It was an interesting reminder from somebody outside the faith to say, like Penn Jillette said, the magician said 15 years ago, exactly that. If you really believe this, why wouldn't you want to save me? Now, granted, we know the Bible says the Holy Spirit leads people to salvation, not us, right? Was yelling people, making them angry, whatever, that's not going to lead people to Jesus. The Holy Spirit has to draw them. And I loved your point, Jesse, about you look great. What's the secret? I see Jesus in you. What's different about you? I love that. It was just a little nudge to say, maybe it's a little bit of a both and. That we let God stir people in an organic way. And also maybe those of us who've been around the block for years, maybe we need a little reminder that we should be a little bit more overt with our faith as well.
So let me address this. Number one, I am not anti-sharing the gospel at any point.
That's good to know.
I just want to make sure
We were a
that
little
people
nervous
know
there for a second.
I'm saying share the gospel. So that's number one. That's established. Year 1, year 50, share the gospel, right? I'm reading tone. And to me, her tone sounds like when white people would say, well, if black people really cared about their community, why are they tearing it down? It is taking the way you're arguing about it is not in a way that's fair or based in reality or realistic or in context. That's my issue. And I'm like, Cameron, the point I was going to make, you're like, hey, I haven't shared it with my neighbor. Bro, you have built a platform that has hit 33 million impressions on Instagram with Christian content. Like, you are over indexing and sharing the gospel. Like, you are over indexing in that. So I'm like,
but that's my professional Christian side. Like, right. I took it as, am I in a conversation with somebody like Jesse talks to people on planes? I don't talk to people on planes.
Professional. But what you did was you took your gift and you used your gift for God, and it's bearing fruit. So I'm like, I guess what I'm saying is, yes, sure. If it convicted you, anybody, like, I need to share the gospel more, I'll never fight that conviction. Do it. But what I don't want you to do is let somebody shake you out of the thing that you are doing that as well, which is 33 million people in a month heard about Jesus because of you and because of. So my thing, again, I hate when people do that, and maybe I'm triggered, because that's what would always happen. We would have these racial debates when I was talking with racist people. They would say, well, if black people really wanted to change their community, they would do this. And it's out of context. It's not in love, and it's not wrapped in any real conversation. It's just really a gotcha thing. And I'm like, to me, that felt more like a gotcha thing than I'm not, Christians, most Christians don't care. That felt more like a gotcha thing to me.
Well, yeah. And I look, and just to put a pin, like, if I knew without a doubt that in my neighborhood there was a squirrel and it could attack, and I did not put up a flyer with a super buff, all caps, and started with, this is not a joke. Okay.
Would you underline it though? That's the thing. If you really believe it,
care about my neighbor, do I even care about my neighbor?
So stupid. All right, that'll do it.
Derek, I do hear you though. Like, I think reducing, our Christian responsibility to just engaging in complicated conversations.
So dumb.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You're quitting it back to the
I got fired up, y'all. But it's the first video podcast, so
yeah, people got to see the unedited Derek. There you go.
And it's my brother Cameron. I'm not gonna look at my brother's start having self-doubt because some random girl on a train starts saying random stuff.
I didn't have self-doubt. I want to have a heart. Listen, I want to have a heart that's sensitive enough that I was nudged by what she said. I was nudged by it. I didn't feel shame or like, oh my gosh, I missed it, or I'm letting God down. I didn't feel that. Okay. I was nudged. Like, it was like, I don't think like that, right? Ever. And then, so Penn Jillette, an atheist, she's clearly not a believer. It's just interesting that these people who are so far outside the faith are saying, hey, if y'all actually believe what you say you believe, why don't you tell me about it?
But some of that is selfish and self-righteous. Hey, if you think I'm going to hell, come get me. Like, bro, that's not a, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's selfish.
I'm with you.
To me, that's an odd perspective and a very self-serving perspective. Like, man, I want the squirrel to come get you. That's why I want to come get you.
I am as loud and abrasive as possible, and if I'm making a flyer, that squirrel is as buff. I'm photoshopping that bad boy. He's got biceps. You do not want this thing. This is not a joke.
Yeah,
cannot emphasize it. It's the first line.
That'll do it for Slices. A lot of times with Slices, we don't, have those stories on our website, but actually this last one is on our site. And there's actually a very interesting dialogue happening on our Instagram post about this clip and the article as well. So go check it out. Join in. We want to hear your thoughts. RelevantMagazine.com. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. After this quick break, we have Ask the Cast.
Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's Soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, so I don't have a jingle for this. We will. Okay, so let me give you all a little behind the scenes. This is our first video podcast. This is not our best video podcast. This is the trial run. We're figuring it out.
Attitude.
Man, like,
buddy,
the vision we have.
Here?
We got jingles. We got graphic packages that are going to be flying around. We don't have any of that ready yet.
The best is yet to come. Let's start.
Hey, it's easier to steer a car that's in motion, right? I didn't want to have to keep waiting to get all that stuff ready. Let's just go, and then we'll evolve it as we go. Yeah. So we're starting a new segment, Ask the Cast. I don't have a jingle for it. We're just going to get into it. You guys sent in questions. We hit you up on the Relevant Podcast Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, do. It's Relevant Podcast. We hit you up there. You guys send in some questions for this segment. Here you go. Okay, Jesse, Caleb wants to know specifically for you, what is the most unchristian thing you've ever done during a board game? You talk about your guys are a board game family.
Ooh, I don't know anything. I don't know of anything I've done that could be considered Christian in a board game.
It's not a board game, but if you ever played dominoes with Prop and Derek and stuff, there are some mean things that are said.
I avoid it entirely because
I'm kind and sweet.
I mean, those 2 a.m. domino. I mean, there's like there are tears at the end of those.
No, you're the one though, Cameron. What are you talking about? You're the.
I know. I just give it back to Prop.
It took me 5 seconds, bro. I'm like, Cameron, you're diabolical.
Only
especially if you're winning.
I'm a front runner. If I'm up and I'm going to be Prop, I talk mercilessly. But I'm really quiet if I'm not winning, so I'm good.
That's how I am. If I think I can win, I will be so vicious. But the second I realize there's no chance of me, we're just having fun, guys. What are we talking about here? Like,
I'm talking trash, top to bottom, from the beginning to the end.
And Derek, I respect that about you. You are unapologetic. You will give it the entire time, and even if you lose, you don't care. You double down on your trash talk, and I'm like, to me,
I respect it more if you just give up.
No, see, so my brother TJ, we used to play NBA 2K, and I would be beating him by 30 points, and he would make me feel like I was losing the game. Like, so I just adopted that whole strategy.
Love it. That's good.
Yeah,
I can dish it. I can't take it. So it's one of those things. Anyway, all right. Emily, what's the pettiest reason? This is from Hannah. Hannah on the go is her name. What's the pettiest reason you've ever unfollowed someone? You can tell it. You actually have a story?
I have to be honest because I just had a visceral reaction. This girl that I went to high school with, who I wasn't really close with in the first place, she started dating a guy who just was like not attractive. And I was like, I don't want to see him on my, I know, I'm so sorry.
Wow. I'm
so sorry.
Wow.
I know.
I didn't expect a real answer. That's petty.
Yeah. Well, I was going to lie, but then I had an actual reaction because I realized what the pettiest reason was.
So you found him so physically repulsive.
She just like posted him a lot, and it was like, girl, I do not want to see this. Like, it was his looks, but also like the level of PDA she was posting online. It just
it was one of them. It was
yeah.
All right,
it was like,
get your tongue out his mouth, like
literally, basically. And it was like, this is a lot for me.
I got it.
All right, Derek. Sierra asked, if you had to pick one snack to represent your entire personality, what is it? I don't know why she asked that, but there you go. One snack.
One snack to represent my entire. That's such a philosophical question.
Yeah.
You just put my whole life into
no pressure.
Snack. You know what? I'll say trail mix. On the outside, it looks really, really healthy, but it's not really when you get to
At all.
the
It's
nuts
a
and
terrible-
bolts of it. It's terrible. It's a terrible.
And that sums up your life?
That's
Yeah,
your
it is.
personality?
Yes.
Look good on the outside, terrible on the, but
On the
bad for you?
outside, you would think that I am an excellent person, but I make fun of people when we play dominoes and things of that nature. I
Self-aware.
got a lot of work to do.
All right. Kylie asked this for the whole cast. Her at name is Kylie Wasn't Taken. I don't know. That's really funny to me. She said, what's the weirdest thing you've ever prayed for that actually came true? That God answered your prayer. The weirdest thing you've ever prayed for.
I don't know if I think about it in those terms. You know, like that's hard to answer. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like kind of whatever happens seems like, well, that's probably the answer to that.
This isn't necessarily like a weird thing.
Lottery numbers. Just joking.
On multiple occasions, specifically like for my friends' weddings, I'll pray for good weather. It's because all my friends keep getting married outside because it's cheaper. So I'll pray for good weather. And I will say every single time the prayers have been answered. There's that.
There Jess asked the entire cast, you're trapped in an elevator for 2 hours. Who do you want in there with you and who do you not want? I want all of you in there with me.
Yeah. I guess I don't want someone
a terrorist.
Yeah, or maybe someone who is, you know, just got done like, you know, on a run or all sweaty or something. But other than that,
Don't want that guy.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have any objections.
You know what? Just give me my phone. I don't want anybody in there because we
just want silence.
Yeah, just give me my phone, power bank. I'll watch TikTok and shorts for a little bit, and we'll be out of there.
You're out of there.
I probably won't have the couple that I unfollowed on Instagram in the elevator with me.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that PDA in real life.
Yeah. I'll take my best.
That would be hilarious, actually.
For who?
Sam asked the cast, who in the cast would survive the longest on a desert island and who would be the first to give up?
Me. I would be the first to give up. Absolutely. I have zero survival skills. I have zero fight or flight instincts. If I'm stranded on a desert island, I'll see y'all in heaven.
I think Jesse makes it.
I think he MacGyvers everything.
I think Jesse.
I think I actually enjoy it, to be honest with you. Give me unplugged. You guys know my feelings about technology.
Yeah, I'm second to give up.
This is a life advice question Marcus wrote in for. If your boss texts you at 9:30 p.m., do you respond or fake like you were asleep since 8?
I ain't
At
responding.
what time?
9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. You get a work text. I'll tell you this.
That's not my cutoff.
I had a client text me at 10:45 p.m. on a Sunday night saying, looking forward to our meeting tomorrow morning. And I'm just like, boundaries, please. What in the world? Not 10:45 on a Sunday night?
Yeah, don't hit me, bro. Don't hit me.
I didn't reply.
Don't hit me. You look at it.
Yeah, it depends on the circumstance, I guess. Yeah.
You know, nasty.
I would always respond to my boss's messages.
Thank you. Okay, one more life advice. We'll wrap it up here. Rachel said, I accidentally called my pastor dad this weekend. Do I move churches or just move states?
It's like when you were talking to your spouse or somebody, and then you talk to someone else, and they're like, all right, see you, love you, bye, and then you're just like,
Have you ever said I've done the you too to people when they're like, have a nice trip, you know, whatever, and they're like, and I'm like, you too.
Yeah,
when I'm
I've done that.
at the airport.
I just find in those circumstances, you know, let's just agree not.
We
to
all know what
acknowledge
happened.
this. Yeah,
we all know it. I don't need to acknowledge it. We all know that I just messed up.
Yeah, I think you're good. It's gonna be awkward. Hopefully, your church isn't like my church because our church would make fun of you for about a year. You know.
Good.
No, she's moving states. Yep. Okay, that'll do it for Ask the Cast. Like I said, there's a lot more over on the Relevant Podcast Instagram account. You should go check us out there. I'm going to do our outs live because we're doing a video podcast. We did it, guys. This is the end of the
little belly
first
at the end of the
episode
podcast because I got to see a little bit of the one pack.
See, you're getting the full experience here.
The unedited experience.
Don't unfollow us because you just saw Derek's belly.
See a little one pack.
Thanks for viewing. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this, you know, we want to hear your feedback. Post comments there, like, subscribe, follow all that YouTube stuff. And make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com. We're posting great content every day. Follow us on all the socials. Our Instagram, Derek mentioned it. Our Instagram is blowing up right now. We're reaching tens of millions of people every month. You guys should jump into those conversations. It's been a lot of fun interacting with you. All right. Thanks, guys. That'll do it for our very first video podcast. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Did it.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. For the latest at the intersection of faith, life, and culture, make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com. And while there, click over to issue 117 of Relevant. The new digital issue is packed, and you can read it for free. If you want our enhanced magazine, as well as ad-free reading at the site and ad-free versions of our podcasts, sign up for Relevant Plus. Plans start as low as $2.50 a month, and it's the best way to experience our content. Find out more and sign up today at relevantmagazine.com.
Relevant Podcast Network.